Hi guys, welcome back to another daily tarot card. These are your daily tarot cards for Tuesday, November the 21st, 2023. Today we're pulling from the Dragon Tarot cards. So we have the Death card, major change and transformation. I feel like the Death card is something that works towards the sun, and we have the Sun card here. So this is maybe something you've already gone through. It could be change of how you navigate through life. With myself asking the universe, for guidance, and them offering assistance. You know what I mean? Because I was asking like my dad and stuff like that. I feel like there's certain things in our life that our loved ones, they were saying the word interfere. I don't feel like it's interfering. I feel like it's making us make better decisions. But I feel like this is how they can see if we've learned lessons or if we're still on the definition of insanity. Doing the definition of insanity being repeating the things over and over again. And I feel like this is where, I wish I was like this when I was younger, but, it's like, you're doomed to repeat things, and it's just like where universe was like, don't twice, stop, this person was just like, let's do this. And I'm like, well, you're not moving in the timeline that, I can get behind, like I want a longer timeline and you want it tomorrow. And I'm like, I'm not comfortable with that. And it's just like, we don't want the same things. And obviously they didn't even care, they're just like, okay, done, that's fine, because I don't chase, I attract. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of us, it's just like we're in that, you know what I mean? For me, it felt like a lot of work. And it's just like, I got enough on my plate. It's just like, you know what I mean? It's just, I had a taste of it. And it's like, do I really want this? You know what I mean? Or do I want someone with an understanding? Because it's just like, life is very full and busy. And I'm not complaining at all. I feel like something coming in is something we worked very hard for. This is what we're putting our energy behind, our manifestations behind. And I feel like changing our perspective, I'm saying like the definition of insanity, or how we've changed our energy, this confidence. That's a word that I saw before I started filming earlier for Instagram. And it was just like, where they sit there and it's just like that confidence. And this is not an ego trip or anything like that. Like I was even talking to my girlfriend at work about this. Like, we're both on a journey of being healthier. We're both older gals, so it's just like I just want to be at the point where I can be mobile. I want to be at the point where I could sit there. Anytime I talk, he drinks too much water and gets like that every time. Attention. Go get your ball. Where's your ball? Yes, Sonny. But I feel like this is what's changing your perspective. Like they were saying, when we're kids, I am rubber, you are glue, whatever you say bounces off of me, it sticks to you. I feel like the things that used to stick to us because we wear our heart on our sleeve and they know that we're the, you know what I mean? They know that we like to have friends. They know that we like to be around people. They know that we like to, maybe approval is the word that the universe is using. So I feel like in that way, it's just like, you don't care about those things anymore. It's just like what things you used to, like, I guess thirst for is a good word, or crave. It's like you don't crave those things anymore because you already know they exist in you. So you don't need outside approval anymore. Because if someone doesn't see what you have or what you can offer, it's just like, okay, bye. Like, I'm not begging you to stay in my life. I'm not begging for your approval. I'm not, you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't need you to be who I am. That's the thing. What we're sitting there seeking out in the universe, we already possess inside of us. If someone wants to add to that, that's amazing. If they don't want to add to it, they just want to take from it. It's like, no, there's no room for taking anymore. I feel like this is where this confidence comes in with this knight coming out of this cave. We got this card, I believe, last week as well, because I was kind of shocked that they were like the Dragon Tarot. I was like, okay, let's go with the Dragon Tarot, But I feel like coming out of this Hermit energy, I feel like you're ready for what's coming. You know what I mean? This is what this was all about, And I feel like it's like a knight does not sit there and get ready for battle, sit there and train just to sit there and train for no reason. You know what I mean? But I you know what I mean? Like it's an honor, it's duty, I feel like in that kind of sense, Some of us were here to be generational breakers. We've done that, you know? So I feel like some of us are born for multiple things. Not only a generational blocker, but also bringing in generational, what we're clearing the path for the because we're not gatekeepers. We're bringing in things, you know, we're opening that path. We're taking those walls down and we're like, run, you know, come through. You know, this is what's all waiting for you. This is all the opportunity, light, and everything that we've been blocked from. Get it? You know? And now it's like, you know, we're sitting there and we're telling them, go. Be free. Go in the meadow and explore the world, you know? Eight of Pentacles, I feel like there's going to be something that pushes you out of your comfort zone. A great example of that is they had this visual tool at work. And I thought it was a punishment. It's like, you're not good enough, here's a punishment. You know, you're not doing what you're supposed to do, here's a punishment. But it actually helped me because, and I was honest about that I thought it was a punishment. And I'm like, I'm a visual learner. So once I saw how things were affecting me in a negative way, I was like, oh, okay, I need to do this to turn this around. You know, couple of, you know, very short calls, you know, people that I couldn't assist, tell them, you know, assist them as best as I could, you know, send them on their way. You know, people that were there for the reason that are of our job, we help them. You know, so I love that. You know what I mean? I love the fact that it's a positive tool in that way. And I'm sure a lot of us are seeing that turnaround, you know? So I feel like, you know, on my shift, it gets slammed at times. And it's hard to like keep track because you're just like, okay, this one was this one. Because a lot of them, you know, especially with certain callers, are the same kind of amount. So it's hard to get back to where you were or remember what that call was about, you know, because there's been so many, you know. But once you get back on track, you know, it's a very amazing tool, you know. And I even said, like, you know, this is all because of you. Like, I didn't want to do this, you know. And you're just like, try it. And I tried it. And I feel like that's what they're talking about here. There's something that we don't feel comfortable with. Like, let's be honest. In tarot, especially on TikTok, if you'll notice, okay? A lot of them that are in front of the camera have a lot more views than people that are behind the camera. Because tarot should be about the cards, about the message. Not about what the person looks like. You know what I mean? But it's the way of the world. I love this. I can't remember her name. And I probably wouldn't say her name because you know what I mean. But she was very transparent. And I love how honest she is. She's like, before I got fillers, you know, and she was very beautiful beforehand. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even understand why she got fillers, you know. But it's a noticeable change, you know. And I was just like, you know, she accentuated her beauty. And she said ever since she got fillers, she has more views. And then she started showing more of her body. And she got more views, you know? And I understand that. You know, that's the way the world works. I understand that. And now the fact that she has more views has transformed to her being a full-time healer because where her platforms pay her enough money to be a full-time healer. Fine. I respect that. But, you know, for me, I don't want to be in front of the camera. That's just who I am, you know? It's about the message. I'm here to sit there and tell you the messages that I'm supposed to be telling you. You know what I mean? So, you know, I understand that, you know, but I know Spirit is pushing me to go in front of the camera to do certain things. And I'm just like, okay, I have to do this. I was going to do it this weekend, but, you know, plans changed at the drop of a dime. The way that I see it, it's like, I have next week to do this. You know what I mean? Or this week because it's you know, kids are on break. It's like, you know, things, you know what I mean? It's just like the opportunity will come again. That opportunity, who knows? And I don't want, you know what I mean? I feel like it's good for the kids. You know what I mean? To be around certain peoples. So I'm just like, you know, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh no, because of this and that. You know what I mean? So I just feel in that way. The thing I'm saying is like where I don't feel comfortable going in front of the camera, Spirit is telling me to do that. Where she was quite honest about it. You know what I mean? And it's not running her down or anything. She followed what Spirit was telling her. She followed her heart. she's transparent about it. She didn't have to tell anybody that, and she did. And that's why I respect her so much, because she was very transparent about it. She was like, this is, what I'm doing. Hopefully that, the right people are you know what I mean? Nobody wants to be criticized. Nobody, you know what I mean? You're supposed to be there for the message. You're supposed to be there for the content, not because of, someone looks like this or it looks like that. Or you get judged because you do this or you do that. You know what I mean? So everybody's different. I feel like if you'll feel that that's the purpose of what you're supposed to be doing, that's like what they're telling me to do, I can't do unless I'm in front of the camera. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But I feel like that kind of thing where I've always been this way. I don't like being in front of the camera. You know what I mean? So it's just like, that's who I am. Shane was the same way. We both didn't like our pictures taken, but you know what I mean? It is what it is. But I feel like in that way, another thing was like what your opportunity is here. People are not going to agree with and don't want to see you as an equal. Like they see you as less than. Don't let that determine your value, because some people see this in you. I feel like because like they're showing me like when I started one job and it was just like, I wasn't there for that long. And they're like, we want to offer you this. And I'm like, but these people have been here longer than me. Shouldn't they get the opportunity? And I didn't see what they saw because I had rose goggles on. But as things went on, they're like, oh, girl, you have no idea. As things went on and more was revealed, I'm like, this is why they didn't get the opportunities. Because they saw what I was doing. And I was just doing what I do. And that's why I was offered the opportunities that I was. Because of who I am and what I do. You know what I mean? So it's just like, don't let people diminish or sit there and say nasty things to you because you got an opportunity. You got that opportunity because they see you a certain way. If people don't agree with it, that's totally fine. They don't have to agree with it. They don't have to see you as an equal. You keep going. You keep making your paper, boo-boo. That's what they said. Keep making your paper. So you do what's best for you. This is leading you towards the sun. A lot of people are not going to agree with. Is what they just said. So, you know what I mean? I feel like this is what's going to really test you, and it's like you keep moving forward. Again, don't be a gatekeeper. I feel like you doing this will encourage a lot of other people to do what they're supposed to do. So I'm saying December 10th through the 16th. So see where that takes you. We have the Star card. I feel like a time of peace and harmony. This is where I was talking about our American brothers and sisters for Thanksgiving this upcoming week. You know what I mean? I feel like for some of us, like if your kid has been in school since August, they're getting burnt out. They need a break. You probably need a break. You know what I mean? So it's just like, take opportunity for that. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just utilize that time. Because this year is just going so freaking fast, It's like, my gosh, you look at the calendar, you're like, it's the beginning of the month. It's like, oh my gosh, there's only 2 weeks left in the month. It's like crazy. But, I feel like here it's like a time of rest and rejuvenation. But again, I feel like with the Chariot card, I feel like with this change in transformation, I feel like you changing how you are, and how, like, his spirit has been telling me for a while. They kept showing. They were showing where I work out, and they were just like, you need to do your floor workouts. That's what's going to help your knees. That's what's going to help. My back hurts a little bit, but it's just like, this is what's going to help you the most is the floor workouts. The arm, like the weights that I do when I'm standing up, like I call it my weight workout. That's building endurance. That's building strength. It's building upon what the floor workout works on. But the floor workout is where it's targeting the areas that I need the more strength. You know what I mean? To build up that strength. But it's just like, it's like in my core. But it's just like, I'm not doing it because I want to be a certain size or anything like that. I did it because my knees were getting really bad. And I take powdered collagen. I take the pills for my joints and stuff like that. But because I sit, this is the first non-physical job I've ever had, it's very different. So it's just like, that's why on my days off, I'm like a freaking helicopter all around the place, just doing, So But if it wasn't for those workouts, it would have affected me in a really bad way. So I feel like this is like, let's turn this around. You know what I mean? Tracy, what's her last name? She's gotten married since, so she may have changed her last name. But I really liked her. She's just changed her tone a lot. So I stopped following her, like, in a negative way. I didn't like her language anymore. It wasn't a language of love. But Emily Sky, she's very body positive about that. And it's just like, just make small little changes. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you don't, like, for me, I get into a funk where I don't want to work out anymore. So I asked Yahweh Yeshua, I asked my guardian angels and everything, just like to help me to keep pushing forward and doing the things I need to do. And I could see the changes, like, you know, in a positive way. So it's just like, keep doing those things. You know what I mean? Keep doing the things that make you feel good, you know, and not every day, especially in the winter time when we're more sleepy. I feel like, you know, we don't want to do those things, you know? So I was like, okay, what rundown sweater can I wear while I'm working out so I'm not so cold? And I end up taking it off because you end up getting so hot while you're working out. But it's like, you know what I mean? It's just like that positive change. And it's like mentally you feel a lot better. Your energy moves a lot freer, you know? Your body moves a lot freer. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing. Like, do it because I want to strive to be like my aunt. You know, and they're like even better than her, you know, not even better than her, just better, period, you know. But I feel like I feel like they say better than her. I feel like encouragement in the way of like, I know what they're talking about. They're like, you know, going to the doctor and stuff. But I feel like in the way where, you know what I mean? Like she had her treadmill, she would do her treadmill. Like she was fit, you know, for a 75-year-old woman, you know, they're like 70-year-old, 5-year-old bat. That's just the way she talks. But you know what I mean? But it's just like, you know, but in a loving way, you know what I mean? Like, I love and adore her. But it's just like, you know, that kind of way. Do it because of that way. But I feel like it's not even with, like, you know, the workout stuff. I feel like it's also with this opportunity. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we don't see ourselves that way. But I feel like the world does. And there's a reason why you're being asked to do it. And try it, you know? Like, at first I wasn't comfortable. You know what I mean? And, my boss was just like, you'll see it. You know, he's like, you're here. He goes, you'll go here. And I didn't see the change. And I'm like, see, I told you I wouldn't do anything. And he goes, don't worry about it. He goes, you're getting used to it. And I said, okay. That's why I adore him. Because he's, you know what I mean? It's like, you won't feel comfortable doing things. And he's like, just trust me. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't do anything that's going to sit there and harm you. He's like, just trust me. Just keep at it. And I'm like, okay. You know, and I kept at it. And he's like, you know, he's like, you're just there. He goes, now you know, and I hit it. And then he goes, this is the first time you've ever hit the mark. And I'm like, okay. And then he's like, we got to get consistency now. So that's what I'm working on now is consistency, you know? And now I know what to look out for. I know what the numbers are. I can see how it changed, how it really drastically changed where I was. Because he's like, you can get all these marks, scores you want. He goes, but if this doesn't change, he goes, you're always going to be there. I'm like, okay. So that's like, you know, he gives you the key ingredients for success. He triggers what he could see, like, you know, you need to do better here to improve this. Like, you know, for your overall, like, you know what I mean? That's the kind of people you should surround yourself with. That sit there and it's like, I'm not picking on you. I'm not trying to, you know, I'm sitting there telling you this because I want to see you succeed, you know? That's the kind of people you should surround yourself with. Even when you feel uncomfortable and like, oh, this is another thing I have to do. You know what I mean? Because our shift is busy. Like, you know what I mean? So he's like, just trust me. He's like, you don't have to do it. And I'm like, no, I'll do it. You know? I'm like, you know? And sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh. Because I don't even remember what the call was about. I'm looking at it and I'm like, I have no idea. I fill it out to the best of my ability. I'm like, I look at it, I'm like, I have no idea what that was about. Because it's been so many, like, you know? So it's just like, you know, I do it to the best of my ability, but I could see where I have to make a change here to move into this positive direction. Where I have to change it here because I'm in the negative, I got to do this, you know? So I feel in that way, you know what I mean? And it did this month. It did change it, you know what I mean? So it's like, now, like I said, we're working on consistency. And I feel like if you see the positive change, you see the benefits of it. And I know, trust me, I drag my butt sometimes through these workouts. Like, my back was singing the other night, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, but we have to do this. I'm like, just do as much as you can. I did most of it. I didn't do all of it. But I'm like, at least you did most of it. I did like 95% of it. And I'm like, I couldn't do any more because my back was just killing me. I'm like, that's okay. We'll do some more. We'll do the full workout next time. You know what I mean? But it's just like keeping at it. And trust me, there's days where I'm like, like, you know, I sat there. I didn't have enough time before work. I'm like, we're going to have to do it after work, you know? And I'm like, after work, I'm like, like, you know, my brain is fried, you know? But it's just like, I could see the change in my mobility, you know, sitting there going up and down the stairs for like Christmas decorations and everything like that. Like, you know, I wasn't sore in my knees. I was sore, but I was just like, you know, it wasn't it didn't impact me the way that it usually does, you know? So that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, if you're able to, you know, especially, you know, because I do have very bad negative shadow thoughts, you know? It's like, get outside if you can. Like, last night's sky was just so beautiful. It wasn't luminous, like, you could see it, like, I even took a picture of it, and it just looks like a bunch of dots, but it's like, with the moon coming out, like, it'll hopefully illuminate the sky a little bit more so you can see them more. But it's just beautiful, you know? I just love that. I love the night sky. I remember when we were living at the house when, this is, like, almost 7 years ago, and the person said, I can't remember where they were, and they were sitting there and they were watching the moon. You could hear the night sounds and everything. And I was just like, oh, I miss that so much. You know what I mean? But it's like, you know, and I shoveled the snow at the house, but it's just like, you know, you learn to appreciate the beauty of winter, you know? And I understand the earth needs it, especially where we live. We need the winter to sit there and hibernate the trees, hibernate the animals, and you know what I mean? It's good for us. And I'm like, snowfall is good because the ground absorbs it, and you know, it's going to be great for the crops next year and all that good stuff, you know? So it's just like, I understand why, but I'm just like, ugh. It's going to be fun to balance working out and doing the snow removal this year, but thank God whatever we had isn't mountains, because last year we had a lot of snow by this time. And I'm just like, please, not another one. I'm just like, ugh. Winter was so long last year. We had it from November 19th, snow, all the way to like April. I'm like, what in the bugger is going on? I'm just like, ugh. You know? Can we please not? Sonny doesn't mind because he gets mounted. He's like a little goat. He loves going on it and walking on it. But I don't mind it because it gives you a good full body workout. So this year is going to be definitely different. But, you know, I just say this to encourage you guys to do, you know, especially if you're like myself, you know what I mean? And it's just like, you're used to being a powerhouse. You know, I used to do 3 trucks a week when I worked for Tim Hortons, you know? Like, that's what I'm saying. I used to have physical jobs, you know? And not like they asked me to do it. I wanted to do it for the extra cash. But it's just like, you know, it's just like when you go to this type of job, and I'm grateful for it because it totally fits my life, but it's just like, you know, you're used to that physicalness. It's just like, that's why I'm like, I'm not doing this because I want to look a certain way. I'm doing this because I want to feel a certain way. I want to be, you know, physically able in a certain way, you know? And I feel it's like the way you change it. When you change that relationship, the language that you tell yourself or why you're doing it, I feel like is the biggest key. I feel like we're brainwashed at a very young age about that, about body. And we become so obsessed with it. And we do it in negative ways, you know, that harm ourselves, where we get eating disorders and everything like that because it's such a quick fix, you know, because working out is a commitment, you know, but we all want quick fixes because we all want to look a certain way and feel a certain way, you know, get attention from people in a certain way, you know. Well, if I look this way, then, you know, I won't be alone anymore, you know. Well, do you really want that type of person in your life is the thing, you know. You've attracted someone, but is that who you're supposed to be with? You know, that's when, you know, that's why they say age comes wisdom. That's why it's like, I wish I was like this when in my 20s and changed a lot of things, but, you know, it is what it is, you know. Now I learn, and now I can teach it to my kids, you know. So that's why I said some of us are here for generational breakers. So just keep moving forward in a positive way, you know. Be that positive voice for yourself. Be that positive enforcement. You can't work out every day. That's totally fine. You know, some people only worked out 2-3 times a week, you know. even if you work out 1 day a week. Yeah, that's why I love Emily Skye. She's like, even if you work out 1 day a week. And that's what I said to myself. Even if I work out 1 day a week, 1 day a week is better than no days of the week, you know? And I've been 6 days a week. So it's just like, you know? And like I told you, not every day is a loving day. I was sitting there and I'm like, oh, I don't want to. And I get through it, you know? It's just like, all right, couple more. Your body will crave it, because especially the way that my body stretches, that's why yoga is so amazing for stretching. Like, you know, the workouts that I do on the floor, like Pilates, it's the stretching, you know, because our body's so compressed. We're not supposed to be compressed. Like, think of our ancestors. They always used to walk. They always used to, you know what I mean? Like, they never sat as much as we do now. You know what I mean? So I feel like when we're stretching, that's what our body loves, you know? So let's feed and nurture our body what it loves, you know? Watch the sugars. Watch the sugary drinks, you know? You like your sugary drinks? That's totally fine. Make sure you're drinking water with it, though. You drink 1 sugary drink, 2 glasses of water. Try to cut it back, you know? Especially if you're not outside as much as you used to during the spring and summer months. So I hope you guys enjoyed these daily tarot cards for Tuesday, November the 22nd, 2023. May the universe bless you good. We'll see you for the next daily tarot card.